We all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. What were they thinking? Uh, so, it's been, a bit of drizzly day, but I've just been sort of pootling around, not trying to do anything, but doing a bit of, a few things, measuring up and stuff like that. I'm trying to relax a bit. Yeah, and I must say I really enjoyed Dan Falkenbach's sort of little tour of an Earth ship. I think his channel's called Flat Earth Subgenius, but I may be wrong. I think it's just changed or something. Anyway, look up that, and you'll probably find him, Dan Falkenbach, if you're interested. But Earth ships are sort of they interest me. And although I did say a couple of maybe a week or so ago, I thought Martin Liedtke was barking, not barking mad, barking up the wrong tree. That was before he started presenting this greatest story never told, I think he calls it. And okay, I am behind with things because I have to download them and watch them later. So I'm sure he'd have started it when I said he was. I've kind of said he was wasting his time, really. But see, this is the thing with people who present themselves as flat Earth this and flat Earth that. It's very easy to rekindle the notion that we were all taught that flat Earth is bonkers. Well, no, it's actually reality. But if I started saying, oh, these giant woodlouse that I've discovered, the glow in the dark, and we can use them as car headlights, and not only we can actually use them as energy, because they will actually crawl under the car and pick it up and start, crazy shit, then you would think, if you just saw that me doing that, you just did. But I don't. Of course, I don't think that at all. But there are people who profess to be flat Earth, flat Earthers, for want of a much better term than that, and do crazy shit, and that brings or say crazy shit at least, and that really doesn't do the subject any good. And Martin's been going for a long time, and I kind of understand the you feel as though you're just repeating yourself time and time and time again, but things are being found out. It's not as if the flat Earth, what would you call it, society? Oh, God, I struggle to be able to describe this thing. It's not a movement. It's not a, well, it is an awakening, I suppose. But that sounds a bit twee or something. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, because we know the Earth is not a spinning ball, absolutely no chance of that. That we try and progress. When I say we, I can't claim to have done anything in that field, just in this field. But I think about things, and then sometimes, anyway, once or twice, I've thought of something, and then somebody and of course somebody else has thought of it. Anyway, just things like that. Like I thought, how could in the heliocentric model, how could planets form from an explosion in the infinite vacuum? They just couldn't coalesce. Nothing would. If there is such a thing as gravity, which of course there isn't, but in their model there is, and gravity would not be able to act during the explosion. But loads of other people have thought of that and all that, you see. So it's good to think, though. It's good to think independently and try not to just, I don't know, try not to follow one person. Just take bits of information from lots of people that you regard as, probable, shall we say. But there are things that are self-evident, and they are fundamental things like water will always find its level, and a large body of water will always be level. That's why I'm sat here doing this, because I know that it's a self-evident truth. That is objective reality. You can't tell me anymore. There's no curve. It's never been filmed, recorded, measured, nothing. So, and of course we can see far, far, far greater distances over water than we would on a 25,000 mile circumference ball. That is why I know that the Earth is a level plane. However, there are still a lot of people who do not understand that. I cannot understand why they don't grasp it. But they don't. And it's probably the programming. It is probably that. It's probably that strong, that good, that effective, that they cannot think past it. They're in like a computer loop, water's level. No, the Earth's a ball. The Earth's a ball. Space is real. Star Wars. I've seen Doctor Who. The Earth, water's level. Oh no, Mr. Spock. Oh, round and round and round. Having a mad, probably. You do go through that actually for a little while, but other people, everybody's different. But I couldn't get away from that water being level thing. I couldn't. That when I read about the Bedford level experiment done by Rowbotham in I don't know, some middle of the 19th century, was it? Something like that. That was all I needed. That is, well, it's proof that the Earth is not a spinning ball. And of course, when you start down that road, the information, again, you want to gather it from different sources, but one of the best things to do is go and do your own observations. But read about Airy's failure and the Sagnac experiments, all these things that tried to decipher what was going on up there and try and sense whether the Earth was spinning or not. Of course, it is or not. We're not moving. That is another self-evident truth. They'll tell you all sorts of bullshit. Oh, but it's a constant. No. No, it cannot be constant. Don't you see that? There's some utter prick who, oh, you know, one of these ball defending trolls that keeps. I shouldn't really spar with him because he just asks me inane questions like, "Oh, you think space is fake then?" I mean, dear. Anyway, if you knew the previous correspondence, you'd realise what I meant by that. But these people have no, well, they have no respect from me. They are purposely, in my opinion, just wasting my time. And I don't really have that much time to waste on those type of people. So if you're watching this, you probably don't even watch them. You just probably know, you see the title Flat Earth, and then just write some rubbish. But I just thought I'll just ignore a lot of them now because I mean, watching Steve HV's latest one on rhetoric, and of course, Steve's done some fantastic stuff just recently in the last few months. And if you don't know about him, just go to Steve HV, and he's done some great stuff. Anyway, he breaks it all down. You understand the terms that he uses to describe what the trolls do, how they confront you, and what you can do to combat them. But they're just a huge pile of ignorance, really. And when if they are if they are genuinely asking those questions, that's what they are. But if they are, like I suspect, just trying to waste my time, paid agents or doing, excuse me, or doing some kind of, like what do they call it, community service or some shit like that. Instead of being buggered senseless in prison, perhaps. I don't know. But I have, of course, lost my thread now. I've forgotten what I was talking about. But it was really good, wasn't it? Oh dear. So, I did start with Martin. Did I? Martin Liedtke. Yeah. Look, like I said, there is definitely a magnetic element to where we live, of course, magnets. And they profess not to know much about them. Oh, we don't really know how they work, for instance. But it's all to do with free energy, like I say, and I think that's the overall. I don't think. Well, okay. Let's just think about this. If free energy were available to us all, we wouldn't be slaves anymore, because that free energy could power our devices, to grow our food, to the limitless possibilities. God's sake, what's wrong with me tonight? Limitless possibilities to free energy, powering machines that could work for us to, there you go. But also massively destructive, possibly, as well. So you've got this other side to it, which is the only side I've seen coming from Martin. I don't mean Martin's destructive. I mean the power and the energy that he's equating to the times gone by. It always is used to destroy, as a war weapon. And, you know, he still might be barking up the wrong tree, but there is something about the magnetism, and I think it's, you know, it's connected to the reason we can't go anywhere to discover our boundaries, is because it would take a lot of fuel or energy to go, you know, to go a long, long way, of course. And if we can get that for nothing, and it's just everywhere, then there are no limits. And we would have discovered that we don't live in a spinning ball, blah, 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 blah. There could be other communities, other races, species, whatever, outside of our knowledge, and we could be purposely kept away from them for all sorts of reasons. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's great, isn't it? It's great to know that you're not on a space ball flying through infinity for no fucking reason whatsoever, and your life has a purpose. You were created, all that sort of thing. Anyway, it's better to think of all the wonders yet to unfold than a load of space balls that you'll never ever get to or get to know, or it's just nonsense. Anyway, I really have waffled on a great deal. I was going to say I'll explain a little bit more. Like I say, me and Mike have been working on a few songs. Voice. What I'm doing now is a bit of a struggle because I can't get. Well, you know when you change your key to suit your voice. Oh yeah. Well, this key. Like a capo on a guitar. Yeah, this key that we're singing in, I think it's E. It is E, yeah. Yeah, it's difficult for me to sing high. Yeah, that's right. And then to get to, see, I can't stretch 5 octaves. It's better doing low. Yeah. Johnny Cash style. Johnny Cash style, because it's a country song. You know, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm fine. I just slipped it. Working on a few songs, and all we're going to do is record them soon, I hope, and then I'll just put them out. You know, and you can laugh, you can cry, you can cover them if you like. You can never listen to them, or you could do what you like with them. Been watching far too many science fiction movies, oh yeah.